star shone brightly on that night so many years ago. The wise men used it as a guide to show them where to go. Shine, shine, Christmas star, shine your light for me. Shine, shine, Christmas star, shine.
Hi everybody!
For all to see.
Today marks one of the most exciting times of the year. It's the countdown.
8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Not that kind of countdown. It's a countdown to the celebration of the birth of Jesus. Christmas! Yes, it's a countdown to Christmas. Did you know that this special time of countdown to the birth of Jesus celebration is called Advent? That's right, we call it Advent. And during this Advent season, we take the time to clear our hearts and minds, and we wait and watch for God, what God is doing in our world. During this time, we often have a lot of beautiful decorations and lights, and we hear a lot of beautiful music. I really especially like this time of year because of the beautiful music. One of the decorations that we'll see a lot during this time of the year is a star. Do you know why that might be? If you said because of the wise men, you're on the right track. I'm sure that all of you know the story of the wise men. You know about how the wise men saw a star in the sky and followed that star to find baby Jesus. Well, I don't think that was the first night that the wise men ever looked at the stars in the sky. In fact, we know that they studied the stars night after night, looking for signs that might predict the coming of a great leader. Now, when you looked at that sky picture, did you see anything pop out? I didn't at first. I had to look at this picture here. And if you can imagine, people who study the stars, astronomers, they notice just the littlest changes in the sky. Well, the wise men were astronomers. They watched the sky night after night, and they noticed even the smallest of changes. Can you imagine what they thought when they saw this really bright star? They had to know that this was the star that was prophesied many years before. What do I mean by prophesied? It was God's prophets had foretold that this was going to happen. They told that there was going to be a bright star that led to a great leader. Well, the wise men had waited and watched and waited and watched the sky. Because of these stories that were told, they knew this was going to happen sometime. They studied the skies and studied the skies, and then all of a sudden, a bright star appeared. That star, maybe it looked a little bit like this, but probably not, led to great things for the wise men. They found their newborn king. Now, if the Christmas story ended with the star leading the wise men to Jesus, and that was the end, it wouldn't bring much hope for us today, would it? Well, good news. That isn't the end. It hasn't ended at all. The Christmas story continues with us today. The Bible tells us that just as surely as Jesus came to be born in a manger, he's going to come again. The next time Jesus comes, he will take us to live in heaven with him. Now that's a message of hope. That is what the season is really about. Just as the wise men were watching and waiting for the star that would lead them to Jesus, you and I are watching and waiting for his return. I wanted each of us to have a way to remember this story, this Advent season, and every Advent season in the future. So I thought, well, let's make us a star tree topper. So earlier in the video, you saw me holding up this star tree topper. We're going to go ahead and make one. In your packet, you should have a white sheet that has the star and a rectangle on it, and also a little bag of jewels. You can take the time to decorate your star however you would like. You can use the jewels if you would like. You can use crayons or colors or paint, or you can just leave it white if you like that. When you're finished with that, then you'll just go ahead and cut out the star and the rectangle. Be sure to cut inside of the black line so you don't leave any black on your star and your rectangle. Then all you need to do is take your rectangular piece of paper, create a little circle with it. Take a piece of tape, tape it down so you have a nice little spot, little cylinder. Okay, if you don't have tape, you can use a glue stick. It just doesn't work quite as quickly, and so you will have to hold it longer to really get it to glue down. Then once you have your cylinder made, this is a blank star. I didn't take the time to decorate it, but if you decorate it, it'll look like this. Flip it down to the back side, and then you'll want the point, when you stick this on your tree, you'll want the point to be straight up. So line up your cylinder with your point, whichever point you want to be the top, and then just tape that on there. Okay, you might need to put one on the bottom and one on the top. And again, if you don't have tape and you're using glue stick or glue, that's fine too. Just make sure you hold it there long enough to let it. So there you have it. And now I don't have my tree up yet, so I can't show you exactly how it works. But just imagine this is the top of the tree, and you just take your little thing and you stick that onto the. Oops, that wasn't very good. You stick that on top of the tree, just like that. Okay. Great job on your tree toppers. Let's go ahead and close in prayer. Dear Jesus, during this season, when we look back and remember your birth, we are also watching and waiting for your return. Amen. See you all next week.
The stars shone brightly on that night so many years ago. The wise men used it as a guide to show them where to go. Shine, shine, Christmas star, shine your light for me. Shine, shine, Christmas star.